Hey guys, Jared here. We're gonna play a 2K game. Got the battlefield kind of set up. We're playing 2K Imperial Guard. I'm gonna have to get this list later so I can show everybody what we got. These are pretty much all las cannons, so I'm pretty much not gonna have a fun time with that. I have gaunts. I am running Endless Swarm with 3 Hormagaunt squads and 3 Termagant squads.
So what did we figure out about
I have 2 Flying Hive Tyrants, a Trigon Prime, Haruspecs, Carnifex, Brood of 2, some warriors that go with the with my troops choice, as well as Endless Swarm, Biovores, and a Venomthrope. So we'll see how it goes. We're rolling off right now for stuff. So here's our deployment. We have the Dawn of War deployment, and I deployed first. Wasn't sure where he was going to go. He had his Aegis line set up over here, so I kind of clumped up a lot of troops over here, anticipating him having a bunch of troops over there. We got some line of sight blocking terrain here. He's scout moved his guys into there. Got my Flying Hive Tyrants back here. Got a good angle at some line of sight blocking terrain that we can do. Venomthrope giving a nice shroud. We'll have some tanks over here. I'm trying to contemplate how I'm going to take those out. They're actually chimeras, all 3. So light transports. So we'll see what I can do. I got 2 DAC effects, so that should be able to do something, I guess. See what we can do with that. Toxin sacks. I'm a Hormagaunts, toxin sacks in these Hormagaunts. Some Biovores back here. So good stuff. He's spread out pretty wide. He's got at least as many guys as I do. I think he has a couple more. So it's going to be an interesting battle, to say the least, especially with all these las cannons and mortars everywhere. So, and I am using Endless Swarm, so we'll see if that can do pretty well. I got my Trigon Prime in reserves way over there. All right, Tim's about to seize the initiative. C. No, we got a 2. Yes, that's good for me.
And the 6 I'd get to move first. Since he deployed.
Tyranids moved up their turn, did some shooting, killed this unit that was up there with a DAC Afflyrant, and got first blood and a kill point. Most of my monstrous creatures are behind the line of sight with the Venomthrope. Carnifexes are still there with the Venomthrope in cover, getting the shroud. Barb Strangler missed. Oh, I forgot one thing. And this Barb Strangler missed, but the Biovores got a unit over there. So out of 10 Hormagaunts, we have 1 still sitting here, all by his little lonesome. He's survived a barrage of attacks from this Chimera. The unit took 2 flamers, 2 heavy flamers, and some plasma shots and some heavy bolter fire. And he's the last. He was dodging like Neo. Through it.
Spread my fire across the field to keep his Hormagaunts back from me, and tried to take out a few of his monstrous creatures, but it didn't work.
So I got, those are my Griblies that are dead over there. 1 full unit of Hormagaunts, which was not in the Endless Swarm formation, is dead. But I have a whole squad of Hormagaunts that was in Endless Formation, or Endless Swarm, that is dead. 3 and 6, and then 2 from a Termagant squad. As you can see, it's kind of thinned out a little bit on my side, especially over here. And a Carnifex took 2 wounds. The Venomthrope really saved his butt. Also, Tim was rolling kind of bad to wound me. He rolled like 6 ones. You're rolling like me today.
I know, this is horrible.
But he's still got just about all his guys. And we're going to see if maybe I can close in and get some close combat this turn. That would be fantabulous.
First rank fire,
so at the
fire,
end of my turn 2, Tyranid turn 2, Carnifexes popped a tank with the help of E-Grubs. Squad came out. That tank can only, the crew's shaken. This guy, this other Tyrant, wing fell off, I need to redo it. This Hive Tyrant killed the quad cannon, so no more Skyfire on the Imperial Guard side. Moving up the field, I took a lot of casualties, especially I declared charges that were pretty far range charges. I should have probably just ran my Hormagaunts, but no big deal. The Imperial Guardsmen are still looking pretty good, castled up on their backside. But I did have a Trigon Prime come in and kill some mortars that were in that back corner. Or las cannons, actually, which are his bane. So I got saved by a roll of a 2 over here. He dumbed down my leadership of my Carnifexes and then was going to Psychic Shriek them. They had a leadership of 2. But it's a Witch of Fire spell, so they had to roll the hit, and they rolled a 2. But man, that Psychic Choir or whatever he's got in that tank is nasty. I gotta pop them. So we just ended turn 2, and these are really long turns because he's just got so much shooting still. But sadly, I didn't pin any of his guys last turn, even though I did hit them with Barb Stranglers and Biovores and stuff. So he was shooting at me like crazy. He killed my Warlord. My Warlord was here, and he got dropped right out of the sky, and then took an entire half of the table of stuff, and they killed him. Plasma guns and flamers and heavy bolters and stuff finally killed the Carnifex here. He did 3 wounds on my Haruspex. He's down to 2 wounds left. Left my Trigon Prime untouched, amazingly. And overall, just a ton of shooting went to my Warlord. Really, that's where most of the shooting went. And he did kill off another squad of Hormagaunts and an entire squad of Termagants as well. The Hormagaunts that were on the right flank here and the Termagants that were on the left flank here are dead and waiting to see if they come back from reserves. So, oh, and he killed my Biovores with, what's this guy's name again?
Marbo.
Marbo.
It's actually a Marine, but
it's a Marine. He's Marbo. Marbo. Whatever. All your shootiness, I'll get you. I'm almost in close combat. You're done. So the battle is shaping up pretty good. I'm finally getting into melee. I love it. Carnifex over here charged into combat, or he blew up the transport, and then charged into combat with the Psychic Choir that disembarked, and did 2 wounds. They did none to him. They were within Shadow of the Warp from my Hive Tyrant, so they had a low leadership already. They failed leadership, and he sweeping advanced them. Killed the entire Psychic unit. Yay.
Bring it down.
He's doing his orders rolls right now.
Bring it down.
Hive Tyrant charged this tank, this transport, killed it too, so it is dead.
So these 2.
But the guy's just disembarked, and now my Tyrant's sitting there like a sitting duck. This is a bad deal for him.
That's 2. I get 2 more.
Haruspex did some work. He did 4 casualties. Ooh. Before the end of my turn, by the way, at the end of my turn, I need to roll for regeneration on him. 4 up. Nope, roll the 1. It was just not meant to be. He got a wound back because he ate 8 dudes. Did not get an extra wound back from that. Trigon Prime got in combat too and is currently mulching up some more. What was those? Just regular Guardsmen? Oh, and on my turn,
rank, 2nd rank.
And on my turn, the Hormagaunt squad and the Termagant squad failed to come in. That was a big bummer. So Endless Swarm. I'm not really very endless this game. It's kind of a bummer.
He got it.
So at the end of turn 3, the Imperial Guard have went. They put 2 wounds on my Flyrant over here. Failed to wound the Carnifex. A lot of shooting went to the Flyrant this turn. He took a lot of that. The Venomthrope actually took a lot of shooting too. But he did take a wound, and he did eat a guy, so he gets his wound back. Trigon Prime ended up killing his entire unit. He killed like 6 of them and then sweeping advanced. Hormagaunts got killed that were right here. And Marbo is dead. He got killed by the warriors. But he did kill a warrior, so that's good. I still have my Barb Strangler left, though. I'm really thin. I have a unit of Hormagaunts that I'm going to try to get in this turn. We'll see if I can do that. Endless Swarm has not been really working for me, but hopefully it will this time! Turn 4. I'm also losing like 8 to 5. Purge the Tyranids, yay. End of Tyranid turn 4. Hive Tyrant charged in there. Still kind of locked in combat. Guys are around him. Carnifex killed 3 las cannons. Good deal there, but you know, he's still sitting duck now out in the open. We got some guys just moved over here. This is the start of the Imperial turn as well.
All right.
Harvespec's munching through guys, 3 at a time generally. Killed some more las cannons with my Trigon Prime, so pretty much las cannons are starting to drop, starting to go by the wayside, which is good because they're like the only thing that can really damage my monstrous creatures. Got some guys hiding there. Termagants in combat with the commander, the warlord, and my Hormagaunts failed to come in again, and it was just absolutely a pain in the butt. I wish, I wish the Endless Swarm was actually endless in this game, but it's not in this case. This game, it's rolling very crappy. I'm rolling 1s every time to get in guys. So, but the monstrous creatures over here that I had hold up over here that kind of ran off to that edge of the table, that ended up doing pretty good, running up there and popping all the transports. Imperial Guard turn 4 is over, and they killed my last Carnifex. Hive Tyrant's nice and tied up in close combat, but he's starting to mulch that unit a bit. We'll see if he can go through him this turn. Harvespec's still doing work, going down a wound and going up a wound every round. The Trigon Prime took 2 wounds from last cannon fire. Took a lot of autocannon fire too, but other than that, I'm really sparse now. Again, Endless Swarm just hasn't happened for me. Let's see if it happens for me this turn. I got
1 unit.
A unit of Termagants that can try to come in. Or was it 2 units of Termagants? Yeah, because you killed that one and...
That's it.
Yeah, that is. Just 1 unit of Termagants.
All I got left.
Let's see. Hey! They come back! Woo-hoo! This is amazing! Alright, let's see how this works. Well, turn 5 was semi-uneventful. Killed a couple guys in that unit. Made them fall back from my Endless Swarm guys coming on. Killed a couple guys in that unit, but they killed my Venom Thrope in return. Only killed 1 guy with my Harvespec's. Only killed 1 guy with my Hive Tyrant over there. The Trigon Prime ended up killing 2 more las cannons, but 3 I think are going to be, or 4 are going to be aimed at him, and that might be a bit of a problem for him. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose this game, because it was Purge the Tyranids, and he's still got a crap ton of guys on the table. He just has so many Imperial Guardsmen. Oh my god. But what I am finding out is monstrous creatures do work on Imperial Guardsmen. As soon as they get in close combat, they just start, they're invincible, practically. But it is tough. It is tough for Tyranids and Imperial Guardsmen alike. I mean, like I said, it's my monstrous creatures are being just a pain for him, and his mass amounts of troops are being a pain for me because I didn't have enough volume fire, I guess. Maybe I should have used my DAC effects to take out troops instead of tanks, especially since troops are scoring in this objective. But we'll see how this goes here at the end of this turn. So game ended, turn 5. We could have gone on, but I really didn't have enough to table him in 2 turns, and that's the only way I could have won because it was how much, Tim? 11 to 5.
Yeah.
11 to 5 kill points. I mean, I was doing all right. It's just he had so much firepower. I mean, look at all those guys. He outswarmed me, and I'm Tyranids with an endless swarm formation that just did not work very well. It produced 1 extra unit. I was very sad, and it wasn't because the endless swarm was bad. It's because my rolls were bad. Because I did have saturation. I had some guys over here taking out this side of the table, and I had some stuff in the center. I did have a hole there from the Trigon Prime, and if I had rolled Hormagaunts on turn 3, if they would have come on the table, they could have come out in right there, been in close combat, tying up a bunch of units. Turn 2, I made a mistake by trying to charge my units, and that got a lot of them killed in Overwatch, and none of them made it into combat. So that was a big mistake on my part just because of the range. I should have maybe ran them and then tried to get them in close combat in turn 3. It would have been a lot better. I think I would have fared a lot better.
And you sat out there for 2 turns just getting pounded.
Yeah, I sat out there for way too long getting shot at. I did kill all of his transports, but I didn't kill all the units in the transports, so I didn't get kill points for those. Unless someone says that that works otherwise. But right now, that's how we were playing it. I just lost almost everything except for my warriors. Warriors are champs. Man, warriors are tougher to take down than people like to say. Venom Throat got taken out, charging into close combat. But, you know, the Haruspex, that guy is the MVP. Because once he got into close combat, he was invincible. Invincible once he got into close combat. And not only because of his healing, biting thing, that was the main thing, is he was in close combat with little Imperial Guardsmen who couldn't barely wound him, and when they did, he just got a wound back anyway. But he also had regen just in case to get up the table, and adrenal glands to get up the table faster, and the regen to make sure he wasn't too wounded by the time he did get into combat. I was kind of hoping to get him into close combat with his command squad so I could eat his commander, but that didn't work out. He had so many guys, he tied up my monstrous creatures, I didn't have enough volume of attacks. I should have tried to maybe mass my guys and just roll through, you know, as like a tidal wave of monstrous creatures. I tried that on the left flank with the Carnifexes and the 2 Hive Tyrants, but it just didn't work out like I wanted it to. No big deal. Lesson learned, Imperial Guard are not broke, they are not weak, they are very balanced and good for what they can do. They just, you know, he didn't move forward. If it was an objective-based game, I could have sat back more, and he wouldn't have won because I would have had all the objectives. So, not a big deal there. Again, it was just Purge the Tyranids, and that's the bane of our existence. That and Hammer and Anvil. That's the only thing that could have made it worse, is if we were Hammer and Anvil deployment and Purge the Tyranids, then it would have just been all over. I would have just said, you know what, can we redeploy? You got this one. Maybe next time.